We finally made it to the wedding episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty, or the summer I get to tell Adam Fisher that everything is non-refundable.
Gotcha!
Yes, that's right, Adam, you gotta pay up, pay up. Money please, because that's what you deserve. Pay up.
-$1.
Welcome back to The Rosy Romantic. I'm Bree, and today we're going to talk about the 8th episode in the 3rd season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Also, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, y'all, so if you subscribe, it really helps out the channel a lot. So, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's chat. Just to let you know, there will be spoilers throughout this video, so let's jump right in. So we start with the morning after Conrad declared his love for Belly. And Belly said, look, I can't stand you, I'm going to marry Jeremiah. Okay, the girl is delusional. And then Belly proceeds to go to bed with her outside clothes on, and Conrad said outside with his outside clothes on. Okay, we're good, we're caught up. So we see Belly, she is waking up and she slept in her makeup. She cried the whole night through. I'm like, girl, I know you're going through it. Okay, you're like, oh, I love these two guys and they happen to be brothers and I don't know what to do. You gotta double cleanse. Finally, she gets herself together after she hears Jeremiah's voicemail. He's like, look, I really got drunk last night. I'm sorry about that. I'm out fishing, you know, with the guys, but I'll see you later. Belly's like, okay, yeah, that's right. I'm marrying Jeremiah and not Conrad. Yeah. Get it together, girl, get it together. So she goes downstairs and gets herself some coffee. I'm thinking she's trying to come to her senses, but she doesn't know because Conrad's there and he's thinking like, okay, look, you had a night to think about it. Do you really want to marry my brother? Like what is going on? But here we go, Belly is saying like, yeah, like I'm still gonna marry Jeremiah. Conrad's looking at her like, okay, well, you know what? I take it back. I was drunk last night. I didn't mean it. Belly is like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. You're always like this, blah, blah, blah. Girl, if you are saying to him, and you just told him last night, I'm still marrying Jeremiah, I love him, he loves me. What else was Conrad supposed to do? But she is just so angry at him. She's like, you know what? Don't even say my name. Don't even think it. Blah, blah, blah. And she like shoves him. I said, first of all, we don't put hands on people. No, 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 no. And I don't care that you're thinking like, oh, I'm in the moment. And, you know, I'm so in love with Conrad. And, you know, no. You get your hands off people, okay? And I also told Jeremiah the same. You know, these two would just, ooh, get on my nerves.
Getting fed up. I mean, fed up to here. The last straw.
Conrad is back, everybody. Conrad is back, okay? And sassy Conrad that doesn't take any mess from anyone. And this is what I need to see more of in this season. We got a little bit in season 2, okay? I need to see more of this because this isn't like Conrad's entire personality, but he will, you know, say it like he means it. He's like, hey, look, you know what, Belly? You know what? I'm upset and you hurt me. So this is, you know, it's a chance to say my piece. Don't ever speak to me again. And then Conrad's like, oh, he's like, you know, don't even think about me. Conrad says, come on, Belly. That's gonna be a little hard considering you're marrying my brother.
Somebody give me a chair.
Good on you, Conrad. Good on you, Conrad. Good answer. Because I can't, in this moment, I was like, Belly, you're getting on my nerves. I can't with this whole like Delulu thing about like that she's still in love with Jeremiah and she, you know, still thinking about Conrad. She really thinks she can have the best of both worlds. And I'm like, you are not Hannah Montana. And Hannah Montana would never have a love triangle with the brothers. Like, no, never.
Good, sounds like we dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. So, yeah, Belly, you need help. You need serious help and serious therapy because this is not okay. This is selfish and rude. And then she has the nerve to say to Conrad, she's like, you're really heartless. Because he isn't leaving and he's staying around for the wedding and things. Because he's like, no, I'm staying because I need to put you in check. That's what I need to do. So this is what Conrad says here. Conrad says, no, I think it's you who's heartless. I've never been so proud. I've never been so proud of Conrad. I was like, yes. That's the Conrad I know and love. You know what, Conrad, you don't need her. You don't need her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her, okay? I am not Team Conrad, okay? I told you, I'm not Team Conrad. I wanted to make sure that, you know, Jeremiah is okay and Conrad's okay. But Belly is causing a major problem. Like, you see how selfish this is? She wants Conrad to continue to pine for her, to yearn for her, and to be with no one else, not move on, while being with Jeremiah, and she keeps denying her feelings. Conrad said, look, I'm putting a stop to all of this. Because look, last time, it was 4 years ago, I was going through a lot. I lost my mom, you know, everything was going on. Then I was trying to do the best for my brother. But you know what? You know, the truth is out. I love you, and I'm done. I'm done lying. I'm done playing games. You can go play games, Belly, but I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And good on you, Conrad. You know what? Next time, if she comes up to you and be like, oh, Conrad, I still love you, be like this. Look, that time has passed and I'm moving on. And I would be so proud of Conrad. I really would. Later on, Belly and Taylor meet up at the spa. And finally, Belly admits to Taylor that Conrad had declared his feelings for her last night. He's like, oh, he said that he still loves me. And Taylor's like, girl, you didn't share this news with me last night. Like, what is going on? Like, are you still gonna marry Jeremiah? Like, what do we do? What do we do here? And Belly has the nerve to say, no, I'm gonna still marry my best friend Jeremiah. And at this point, for us, for Taylor, for everybody, girl, give it a break. Give it a break. I am tired of you saying like, oh, you know, like Jeremiah's my friend and I wouldn't betray him and things like that. No, you have countless times, Belly, and you have lied to him. You have not told him the truth. You are still in love with his brother and you won't admit that to his face. That's not being a friend. So no, you're not Jeremiah's best friend. No. I'm hating that narrative of that. No, that narrative doesn't exist, okay? You're just saying that because you feel scared in your feelings in some type of way for Conrad. But you know what? You're gonna have to face that fact, Belly. Conrad did, so you're gonna have to stand up. But you didn't want to do that. So you know what? You and Conrad, no. Conrad needs to go out and progress and have therapy. You as well, because I'm done. And I don't like the fact that you made Jeremiah go through this. It's wrong. It's wrong.
I am in incredible pain.
Now we have arrived at the rehearsal. Belly sees her parents, and when she sees Laurel, she's like, okay, are you going to talk me out of it one more time? Laurel's like, no, you do you, boo. I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm here for you. And Belly's like, okay, the one time that Laurel doesn't say anything. And I'm like, you know what? You get what you get, Belly, because you have told her countless times. You're like, I'm in love with Jeremiah. I want to marry him. This is what I want to do with my life. You kept saying this over and over and over again. And I know that Laurel was, you know, defiant and you were trying, it was that, you know, that whole thing. But you know what? You have to follow what's in your heart, Belly. You can't take direction from other people, okay? You gotta stand up for yourself and your feelings. I am done for you taking other people's opinions and then, you know, acting on it and then blaming them. You did the same thing with Taylor, you did the same thing with Laurel, with Conrad, with everybody. I need you to grow up. You need to grow up.
I kind of feel sorry for you. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, and I forgot one detail. Guess who's at the rehearsal? Conrad.
I assumed you knew, darling.
Conrad showed up and he's like, okay, look, I told you the truth and I told you I was going to stay, okay? And I don't care what you have to say. Good for you, Conrad. He's like, look, you're going to do what you're going to do and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, all right? And when they're rehearsing, this is probably has to be the saddest thing for Jeremiah, because he gets to see Belly, you know, walking down in a white dress, not the dress she's gonna wear on the wedding day. And here we have the whole thing, his brother's by his side, and she's walking down the aisle, her parents are there. Like, this is, poor Jeremiah, I can't believe. And then that Belly is making eyes at Conrad, and Conrad's trying to go like, just trying to look, the other way and things. And Jeremiah can feel this energy. Like, I am so upset at the fact, I'm upset at Conrad and Belly, because they think, what do they think? Jeremiah's stupid? He's clocking this and going, something's up. Something wrong, something up. I don't know what it is. I know, you know what? I know exactly what it is. And I'm so glad it gets revealed later. But then we have the rehearsal dinner. And of course, Kaylee, had the whole rehearsal dinner, set up. And I'm just trying to still figure out that Conrad is civil towards Kaylee, or did he have a little sarcasm in his voice there? I don't know, because I'm like, what are we now just saying, like, that we had the whole dramatics of, of Adam cheating and bringing his mistress, blah, blah, blah. And now we're just going to be like, now we're all good?
Oh, that's great. Let me know how that goes.
During this dinner, we get to see Jeremiah share his love for Belly. He got her favorite dish, and he's so, happy in this moment. And he says, I know the way to my woman's heart. And then Belly says the biggest lie probably in TV history. She says, and I quote, she says to his face, she says, "You already have my heart."
Liar!
You're lying. You're lying. Stop lying. I am tired of the lies, Belly. Lies upon lies. Were you going to have your whole marriage be a lie? What does that make any sense to you? Like, Conrad, don't. Y'all need, like, if you were ever going to be together, like a 10-year break, because I can't stand this. I really can't. How could you say that in front of everybody, all your friends and family, to this man, and then see the other man across the way and be like, oh, his brother, and be like, no, I'm still in love with him. Clearly, Conrad has your heart.
Okay, you're trying to hurt me? You're trying to injure me, right? You're trying to hurt me.
At the final end of the speech, Jeremiah is talking about Susanna and how much they love her and how much they miss her. And he's telling Belly that it makes him feel like a part of her is with us every day. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Get emotional thinking about it.
For Jeremiah, I think he really wants this wedding to work out because, number one, he feels like he's not enough. Number two, he feels in the competition with Conrad. And then number three is that he's just missing his mom, and he's still trying to process grief and understanding that that it comes in ebbs and flows. Like, some days that you're gonna be okay and sometimes not, and that Belly and him need to kind of process that grief and start that, because I think that they're being dependent on one another, which is good to be there and support each other, but it should not take place of processing that grief. And so that's what I'm really concerned about with him and with Belly. I'm like, this is something very hard that you have to that you're facing. But it is okay if you're being, honest about your feelings and what you're feeling in the moment. And I think they're hiding some of that and harboring some of that, and that they really need to be honest with one another to let that, that process happen. After dinner, Jeremiah asks Belly, "Do you want to go for some ice cream?" She's like, "Why not?" He asks Conrad, and Conrad's like, "Wait a minute, I'm going with y'all? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll see y'all at the wedding because I'm tired." Jeremiah is like, that's interesting because I didn't see you later on at the bachelor party. And then you didn't go fishing with us this morning. this is interesting. Like, what is going on with you? And I feel like Jeremiah wants his brother to be real with him. Conrad's been real with Belly, but you ain't real with Jeremiah.
You know, we're living in a society. We're supposed to act in a civilized way.
So we don't see Belly and Jeremiah getting ice cream. We see Steven and Denise with ice cream, and then they finally were like, hey, maybe we should try this romantic thing in a relationship. And they kiss, but then nothing happens. They're like, it's okay. And I don't believe them. I don't believe them for 1 minute. Because I was like, you were in the office here. Y'all were flirting. Y'all were getting close. Y'all were seeing flirty things. And then y'all look like you're vibing. And then nothing? Like, I can get how this happens in real life, okay? But in the show, if you're spending that much screen time with them, and then for it just not to happen at all? What are we doing here? I'm like, did I just waste my time? Did we just, what? I was just so upset. I was like, Denise is a great character. Then I thought, are they setting her up for Jeremiah? I don't know, because I know they're changing some things. And I only read the 3rd book, so I do know the ending. I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. This is interesting to me, because I was like, why would they have her here? And this much screen time.
Can you estimate the value of everything that was taken?
Emotionally, $700 million.
But finally, we get Belly telling the truth, or somewhat of the truth, to Jeremiah, because she feels guilty. She's like, oh no, what do I do? You know, I'm gonna be, marrying, but my best friend, but I can't, tell him a lie. But she did tell him a lie about the whole Christmas thing, but you didn't want to admit that, that night, did you?
Does she care? No. Does anyone ever display the slightest sensitivity over the problems of a fellow individual? No. No. A resounding no.
And I don't understand how Belly was surprised that she doesn't see Jeremiah the next morning. Because after seeing this and the whole thing, and then Jeremiah is seeing them every time they look at one another, and the energy he, feels in the air, he is not stupid, Belly. He can get it. He can clock it. It's not clocking to you that he can see this, right?
I have no chance, do I? No.
After all these episodes, it is finally wedding day. Rise and shine, everybody. It's time for Jeremiah and Belly to walk down the aisle, but Jeremiah's not here. Where is he?
So you don't know where he is?
Where'd he go?
Would you like to find out?
Jeremiah is gone, nowhere to be found, and I know he turned off by my friends. He's like, I am so done with this girl lying to my face, and I'm so done with my brother lying to my face, and everyone lying to my face, so I'm just gonna get gone. You ain't gonna find me right now. Belly's freaking out, and then Steven finds out. He's like, oh no, Belly, it's gonna be okay, like you're gonna have your wedding day. But in my head, I was like, you know what, this is the best thing possible, because Belly, your actions have consequences.
Now come on now.
Steven goes up to Conrad, and he's like, yo, where is he? He's your brother, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he's getting, all upset at Conrad. And he has every right to be, because he finally, airs out his grievances towards Conrad and was like, yo, you straight up left. For 4 years, you were nowhere to be found. And then Jeremiah was here, and then we became best friends. You've been disrespectful towards our relationship and, and the family. And that makes a lot of sense, because Conrad, you weren't around because you're like, oh, Belly, the love of my life is there. But you had a whole family out there that was, waiting for you for your love and support, and you just left them? No, you need to hear this, because you cannot be doing this. Just because, you're not with the love of your life, blah, 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 that you just left, Steven and Laurel and them, just out there. And you forgot Jeremiah. He's like, I just can't, it hurts my heart. Move on. You gotta move on and not stop letting Belly manipulate you. you gotta get it together, Conrad. Now we see Conrad driving around and he's like, where could my brother possibly be? And then he thinks about it. He sees that letter that he's going to give to him that's from Susanna, and he's like, oh, he's at the memorial garden. Obviously, because he misses our mom, so much, he's there. So when he finally gets there, Jeremiah is like, don't come near me. Don't come near me, because I'm mad. I'm not mad. I am furious. And Conrad's like, look, you gotta, come back for the wedding. Belly's waiting for you. And he's like, oh, she waiting for me? Because I thought she was waiting for you, because y'all weren't honest. And y'all didn't, you didn't tell me that you confessed and declared your love for my fiance. Yeah, I heard what you did, and you were wrong for that. Conrad's like, okay, well, are you gonna punch me? We're gonna fight? We're gonna do something? And Jeremiah's like, okay, just you wait, because I can't deal with you right now because of the betrayal that he feels. He's like, I can't believe my brother did this to me. That 4 years ago, I gave you this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And Jeremiah, I can see your point of view on this, okay? But when Belly asked you to, resume this relationship, you could have said no.
I like that take on it.
Is that what it is?
I'll take that.
So Conrad has had it up to here. He tells Jeremiah, do you actually love her? Because I heard that you cheated on her in Cabo with Lacey.
Oh, here it goes.
Jeremiah's like, that's it? Those are 5 words? I'm about to punch you in the face. So he goes,
You want a piece of me? You got it!
Now,
well, as your queen, I absolutely cannot condone it.
We don't lay our hands on people, okay? But we ain't through yet. Conrad gives Jeremiah the letter that Susanna wrote for him. Jeremiah opens up the letter and he is bawling. He is in tears because instead of it saying, Dear Jeremiah, it says, Dear Conrad. And within this letter, I read in the book, this is basically detailing out for Conrad to read, before his wedding, and that she, so proud of him, that she saw him, she got to see him in love, and that he was in love with Belly. But to me, she's basically telling him, I was glad to see you, in that moment, and that, in the future when you fall in love, I'll be so happy for you. But Conrad, you do not have to stay with Belly. Your mom just wants you to be happy at the end of the day. But because they all have this preconceived notions of this thing, that they're like, yo, he must mean, she must mean Belly, and that they're gonna end up together. And Jeremiah is like, that's it. Susanna just wanted her boys to be okay, but they're not okay. Jeremiah says to Conrad, I'm going back, but we ain't brothers no more. You're dead to me. You and I are done. I need a moment. I told y'all this was gonna be hard on me, and I read the book and I still wasn't ready for it. I couldn't believe the hurt, the pain, and both for Jeremiah and Conrad, and all because of Belly. I mean, this is not all because of her, but all because of Belly didn't tell the truth to either one of them. Now we're back at the country club, and we still see Belly getting ready for this wedding. I'm like, girl, how do you think this is gonna end? Meanwhile, we see Jeremiah see a note that Conrad left for him and said, look, I ain't staying here for this wedding, but here's our mother's ring to give to Belly. And at that moment, Jeremiah's like, that's it. You just tied the bow on everything that I knew before, that you really, really love Belly and that I don't have a chance. So while Conrad dropped off that note to Jeremiah's room, he went to Belly's room, he knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm leaving and I can't deal with this anymore, but I'm gonna tell you that it was worth it. That I loved you, that I pretty much destroyed me and my brother's relationship for you. You hurt me. It really hurts to be in this position, but you know what? It was all worth it. It was all worth it to be hurt, you know, to go through all this because I loved you. And now you can do, you know, what you want to do, but I gotta walk away. And gives her a kiss on the forehead and says, goodbye, goodbye. And I'm like, Conrad, say goodbye forever, please, please.
Does this mean I've lost my progress? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm done.
Jeremiah goes up, knocks on the door. Hey. And then Belly's like, oh no, you can't be in here, you can't see. He's like, I don't know what type of Lulu you on now because you ain't even dressed up. And hey, I'm in Delulu because I'm in my suit. And I can't believe that we even thought we were gonna go through with this because you're still in love with my brother. Belly's still trying to convince him. You know how painful this is for Jeremiah? And she's still, at least she could have just been honest, like right there and be like, look, I am going to be honest with you because I have that love for you. But she just strings this along and how hurtful this is for him. This is crazy. And he finally had to just lay it out and say, look, do you still love my brother? And then she finally says yes. But has the nerve to follow it up with, but a part of me, I still love him. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, because you're lying. You're lying to me. You have your whole heart you given to Conrad.
I got played.
And just like that, the wedding is off and Belly is going to Paris. Now, I think the only way she could have a last minute flight to Paris if she used both of those airline gift cards. You were wrong for that, Belly. You should have given that to one of them to Jeremiah, and one was his. Laurel gave two, one for you and one for Jeremiah. You were wrong for that, Belly. So that way he didn't have to just sit there and be humiliated. He could have gone to Hawaii or something. But you were still being selfish. Girl, you were wrong for that. So just as Belly is about to board her plane to Paris, guess who she sees across the way? Who's that? Who's that? Conrad. Conrad is heading to Boston. And then she thinks about, for a moment, you know, to go over there and say something. And I said, girl, if you don't get on that plane and go to Paris and go see Emily, but you're gonna stay away from Conrad and you're gonna stay away from Jeremiah. I really won't know how this ends because I only know what happens in the book, but I heard that they're changing things up from the book. I'm scared. We still have 3 episodes left. What is gonna happen? We have no clue what's gonna happen, but this is going to be so interesting. And I'm thinking about, someone mentioned a couple episodes ago about a live stream for the last episode, or we could also do predictions. I think that's gonna be fun. So let me know in the comments down below if you would like that. And you know, I could set that up. Also, let me know what you thought about this episode. I know a lot was going on here, so that we can chat in the comments down below. And I hope you have a comfy and cozy rest of your day. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye!